Well, welcome back for chapter 18 of the book of Numbers. So today is not a rehash of things that we talked about in Leviticus, but a little bit more information about some of those things. So you got to remember, again, uh, usually in a book, each book in a series or chapters in a series is progressing the story forward. The thing we have to understand about the book of Leviticus and Numbers and Deuteronomy is they're not so much progressing the story forward all the time as sometimes they're giving us more information about the same stories. So sometimes there's a bit of a rehash or giving us a little bit more details from a different perspective of what just happened. This is not an uncommon thing that we see, and we'll see this again when we get into Kings and Chronicles and things as well, and Judges. So today we're going to learn about Aaron and his sons who are called to minister in the priest's office. Levites are called to minister in the service of the tabernacle. Levites receive no land inheritance, but are supported by the tithes of the people. So a little bit more distinction this time, not just about there is two priesthoods, and here's what their duties are, but now we're learning a little bit more about the distinction between Aaron and his sons and the rest of the Levitical priesthood holders, which is the tribe of Levi. Okay, that tribe, Levi's tribe, was given the priesthood. That was their inheritance. Everybody else got inheritance of land. Okay, in the promised land, they got that inheritance of land. The Levites did not get any land. So they had a different inheritance. Their job was the priesthood. Now they're of course supported by the people through the tithes and offerings that come in. So the Levites are supported in what they do so that they can focus on doing all the things they need to do at the tabernacle, basically, do the temple work and the ordinance work and things. And then Aaron and his sons are a specific group of people out of the tribe of Levi that is set aside for a different type of office or calling in the priesthood. Okay, they're called as the high priest, if you will, or the president of the quorum of the priests, basically. So they had a little bit more officiating to do. So the firstborn sons who are descendants of Aaron got that opportunity, basically. They got that ability to do these things a little bit. They got to do a little bit more officiating, a little bit more responsibility than just the typical Levite had, basically, as well. We learned a couple chapters ago that some of the Levites didn't like that, and they wanted to have that full power for themselves too. And what happened? That was crazy. If you don't remember that, go back a couple chapters and go through those videos. They're really interesting. So, all right, let's get started. And the Lord said unto Aaron, Thou and thy sons and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary. Thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. And I think there's it says bear the iniquity, but I don't think that's a proper translation of this. In the footnotes, it talks about bear any guilt incurred in failure to bear the full responsibility of the priesthood, basically. So I think this is more of, it's your job to not just, that sounds, bear the iniquity sounds negative. It's basically your responsibility is to deal with the sanctuary. Okay, that's more inner part of the temple, not the tabernacle, the congregation, the outer area, but the inner part. Okay, and they have extra priesthood responsibilities and duties, and that is their responsibility. Now, what that means, of course, is if they don't fulfill those responsibilities, it's on their heads. They're responsible for that. So just to kind of let them know, you've got some stuff you got to get done. Verse 2, And thy brethren also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of thy father, bring thou with thee, that they may be joined unto thee, and minister unto thee. But thou and thy sons with thee shall minister before the tabernacle of witness. So again, saying, the tribe of Levi, basically, which is brethren. So this is, if Aaron is tribe of Levi, then Moses was the tribe of Levi also. And Moses had the Melchizedek priesthood. Okay, there's a big distinction in there. And you can learn more in section 84 of the Doctrine and Covenants on that too. But Aaron and his sons are the firstborns of the families, descendants of Aaron, had this ability to be a high priest or the president of the priests, basically. is what it comes down to, president of the Aaronic priesthood, and the Levitical priesthood is a part of the Aaronic priesthood. Verse 3, and they shall keep thy charge and the charge of all the tabernacle. Only they shall not come nigh to the vessels of the sanctuary and the altar, and that neither they nor ye also die. And they shall be joined unto thee, and keep the charge of the tabernacle, the congregation, for all the service of the tabernacle, and a stranger shall not come nigh unto you. So the Levitical priests, the Levites, they deal with the tabernacle, the congregation. So that's the large outer court. That's that when you first come to the tabernacle and come in it, that's the tabernacle of the congregation. That's where the laver and the altar, sacrifice, and all those things are when they do their ritual washings and anointings and sacrifices for the general congregation. Then they have the smaller sanctuary inside within the court of the tabernacle of the congregation. That's where the veil and the altar of incense and the candle lights and the shewbread and the Ark of the Covenant and those things are. And that's where Aaron and his sons have more responsibility over that area, basically. The Levites don't deal with that inner sanctuary. They just deal with the tabernacle of congregation, what happens out there. Verse 5, ye shall keep the charge of the sanctuary and the charge of the altar, and that, hold on a second. Did I say right? Yes, I did. Verse 5, and ye shall keep the charge of the sanctuary and the charge of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel. And I, behold, I have taken your brethren the Levites from among the children of Israel. To you they are given as a gift for the Lord, to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Therefore, thou and thy sons with thee shall keep your priest's office for everything of the altar, and within the veil, and ye shall serve. And I have given your priest's office unto you as a service of gift. And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. So basically, strangers are not allowed in that inner sanctuary. If you're not a member of the Israelite nation, you're not allowed in. In fact, most Israelites weren't allowed in that sanctuary either. And only the main high priest was allowed through the veil into where the Holy of Holies was, basically. Verse 8, the Lord spake unto Aaron, so this is a revelation to Aaron, behold, I also have given thee the charge of mine heave offerings of all the hallowed things of the children of Israel. Unto thee have I given them by reason of the anointing, and to thy sons by an ordinance forever. This shall be thine of the most holy things, reserved from the fire, every oblation of theirs, every meat offering of theirs, and every sin offering of theirs, every trespass offering of theirs, which they shall render unto me, shall be most holy for thee and for thy sons. So this is understanding here, basically saying that when people bring their offerings in, a portion of some of these offerings you keep as you and your sons. So this is how they were supported. They were given a place of land. Basically, they were given a place where they could have their tents and their families could live, kind of like a little city for them. But they didn't own the land. It was given to them basically by the rest of the tribes. Whenever the people would come and bring sacrifices up, some of the sacrifices, they kept a portion of that sacrifice. Some of the flowers that they kept, some of the bread offerings, some of the meat that was brought in, animals that were killed, some portions of the animals were given to the priests. That's how they sustained themselves, basically. It was kind of a tithing or a donation, basically. Verse 10, in the most holy place shalt thou eat it, every male shall eat it, it shall be holy unto thee. So this is Aaron and his sons, the Aaronic priesthood holders, the priest, the high priest, or the president of the priests, Quorum. They were the ones that would get this extra bread and extra things that would be done in these sacrifices inside that inner sanctuary. They got to eat this, basically. Verse 11, this is thine, the heave offering of their gift, with all the wave offerings of the children of Israel. I have given them unto thee, and to thy sons, and to thy daughters with thee, by a statute forever. Every one that is clean in thy house shall eat of it. All the best of the oil, and all the best of the wine, and of the wheat, the firstfruits of them which they shall offer unto the Lord, them have I given thee. Whatsoever is first ripe in the land, which they shall bring unto the Lord, shall be thine. Every one that is clean in thine house shall eat of it. Everything devoted in Israel shall be thine. Everything that openeth the matrix, or the womb, in all flesh, which they bring unto the Lord, whether it be of men or beasts, shall be thine. Nevertheless, the firstborn of man thou shalt surely redeem, and the firstlings of unclean beasts shalt thou redeem. And those that are to be redeemed from a month old shalt thou redeem, according to thine estimation, for the money of 5 shekels, and after the shekel of the sanctuary, which is 20 gerahs. But the firstling of a cow, or the firstling of a sheep, or the firstling of a goat, thou shalt not redeem, they are holy. Thou shalt sprinkle their blood upon the altar, and shalt burn their fat for an offering made by fire, for sweet savor unto the Lord. The flesh of them shall be thine, as the wave, breast, and right shoulder are thine. So again, this is just talking about the different sacrifices, the different offerings that the children of Israel are given to donate, and a portion of this is given to the priests. Okay, so the priest that officiates gets some, and then some of it's shared with the other priests. And there's rules around they have to eat it that day. They can't keep most of it to the next day. There's a couple things that could keep, but after like 3 days, it has to be destroyed if they haven't eaten it. And this is for them, the priests themselves, and for their families, basically, because the priests don't have time to raise a flock. They don't have time to grow crops, to do these things themselves. So they are given the opportunity to uh, partake in these when the members, the Israelites, bring them up to sacrifice, basically. Okay, let's see. Verse 19, all the heave offerings of the holy things which are the children of Israel offer unto the Lord have I given thee, thy sons, thy daughters with thee, by a statute forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before the Lord unto thee and to thy seed with thee. The Lord spake unto Aaron, thou shalt have no inheritance in their land, neither shalt thou have any part among them. I am thy part and thine inheritance among the children of Israel. And behold, I have given the children of Levi all the 10th in Israel for an inheritance. So, tenth, or a tithe as well, basically, for their service which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of congregation. Neither must the children of Israel henceforth come nigh the tabernacle of congregation, lest they bear sin and die. So there's rules around where they can and cannot go, and if you go to the wrong place, you can die. It's pretty straightforward there, basically. But again, the inheritance that the children of Israel get, which is the land and property in the promised land, a tenth of that is given for the land. They give it to the priests, basically, for a place for them to live. Let's see, verse 23, but the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. They shall bear their iniquity. They shall perform those responsibilities, basically. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance. But the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as an heave offering unto the Lord, I have given to the Levites to inherit it. Therefore I have said unto them, among the children of Israel they shall have no inheritance. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Thus, so this is revelation to Moses now, thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you from them for your inheritance, then ye shall offer up a heave offering of it for the Lord, even a 10th part of the tithe. And this your heave offering shall be reckoned unto you as though it were the corn of the threshing floor, and as the fullness of the winepress. Thus ye shall also offer a heave offering unto the Lord of all your tithes. So even though they're getting resources from the Israelites, they still have to tithe the 10th of that, what they're given, basically, as well. So the priests are still told to pay tithing also. Let's see, 28. Thus ye also shall offer an heave offering unto the Lord of all your tithes, which ye receive of the children of Israel, and ye shall give thereof the Lord's heave offering to Aaron the priest. Out of all your gifts ye shall offer every heave offering of the Lord, of all the best thereof, even the hallowed part thereof out of it. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, when ye have heaved the best thereof from it, then it shall be counted unto the Levites as the increase of the threshing floor and the increase of the winepress. Ye shall eat it in every place, ye and your households, for it is your reward for the service in the tabernacle of the congregation. Ye shall bear no sin by reason of it, when ye have heaved from it the best of it. Neither shall ye pollute the holy things of the children of Israel, lest you die. So remember, when they bring these sacrifices, they kind of, for like the animals, the Israelite person would put their hands on their head, and they would kind of confer their sin to the animal, and then the animal would pay with their life, basically, and go through that process for the atonement, or the paying the repentance of the sins of those people. When the priest would take the portion of that animal, it would not have sin go with it, basically. So those were seen as clean and pure and holy, and everything was good. So some interesting things, understanding they had the principle of tithing, and that's how the priests were supported back then, and utilize that. It's different today, but that's okay. Again, the Lord gives us what we need to understand and helps us at where we're at and wants to help us grow our learning and understanding as we go. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next chapter for some more insights into what's going on with these people.